Skill gets a driver or pilot across the finish line, but his potential for winning is determined in large part by speed.
The cars here in the American Le Mans Series are very fast. You know, traveling at 180 mile an hour going into turn 1, where we're nearly flat out in top gear.
Getting to top speed fast is essential in reaching corner 1 ahead of the pack. As in most high-power race machines, controlling airflow into the engine is key to generating horsepower.
Obviously, to ignite the fuel, you have to have air. You have to have the oxygen. As you go at speed, the air literally almost goes supersonic as it goes through there.
The airflow increases the amount of oxygen that can be burned, increasing the horsepower of the engine.
That is the biggest influence on the amount of power that we can get out of the engine.
But this intake isn't only about generating horsepower, it's also there to control it.
Now, we're trying to make the racing as equal as possible. So what they try and do is limit the amount of air that goes into the engine, which obviously restricts the amount of power that you have. Different cars will have different sizes.
Without an air restrictor, the prototype's top speed would be even higher.
There were no rules. You know, we'd have pretty dangerous speeds out there. It would be going too fast.
Just like David's race machine, Mike Goulian's Edge 540 is full throttle off the starting line. But instead of shifting gears, the plane's propeller is preset for maximum speed at all times.
We're running at full power. We never pull the power back until the air exits the track. It's called a constant speed propeller because you set the speed of the engine to maintain that RPM.
By adjusting the pitch of the blades in the propeller, the Edge 540 bites into the air and compensates for different angles at which the plane flies, maintaining the engine's RPMs and speed. The system is not unlike an automatic transmission in your family car. Like the ARX, the Edge uses airflow to maximize the engine's performance through a part known as the cowling.
The cowling actually is really designed to cool the engine, so these inlet shapes and designs are really important. This is the air intake for the fuel control unit.
Just as on the race car, the air intake increases manifold pressure and horsepower.
And we have a very efficient cowling, which also keeps the engines very cool, which allows us to make more horsepower, generate more heat, and dissipate that heat in a better way.
The dizzying forces can cause a pilot to lose consciousness, a potentially deadly consequence.
G-force in the air race is super important, and the harder you pull, the faster it comes. You kind of start to lose your hearing, and then you black out. And if you black out, you're gone for about 15 seconds.
To combat the constant gravitational pull, Mike wears a pressurized suit that balances his blood flow.
We're probably the only civilians in the world that are using a G-suit. This is a self-contained suit where it actually has fluid channels, or fluid muscles they're called, that run down the front and the back of us.
As the pilot pulls the plane, the fluid inside the suit flows to the lower portion of the body, forcing the pilot's blood back towards their head, reducing the chance of a potentially deadly blackout.
It's an amazing suit. They're all custom made to us, and they cost about the same as a mid-sized car, so they're also not cheap either.